We're live. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. For those of you who are going to be watching this video either live or maybe on catching it on the replay, we're with John Rothrock, who is with Rothrock Plumbing Service. It's a local business here in Davie County. So John and I have never met each other personally, so we're meeting each other virtually. so John, I wanted to start by letting you have just a couple minutes to introduce yourself to to anybody who might be listening, just really more on like a personal level as far as who you are, a little bit about your family, just some, just some things that might be of interest to our listeners.
My name's John Rothrock, 32 years old. I started this business 4 years ago. We do mostly residential service and remodeling kind of around Davie County for Scythe. We go from Kernersville to Statesville a lot of times. I've got a guy that works for me full time. His name is Chris. He's been with me about a year and a half. My wife works for Dr. Spindell at Animal Arc up in Clemens. She's a vet tech up there. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Okay.
That's a little bit about us.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us. Well, I wanted to give you a few minutes to tell folks a little bit about your business as far as what you all offer. I know before we started the live, I asked you a question and realized that's not what you do. So there's going to probably be a lot of other folks who are going to learn something from this too. So tell us about Rothrock Plumbing and how you serve your customers.
We are primarily in the residential service and remodeling business. We work on anything from sewer lines all the way to water heaters within people's houses. We do a little bit of commercial service, not a whole bunch. We're not a very, very big company just yet. We are growing. We've made pretty good progress the last 4 years. Excuse me. We do remodeling work. We don't do a whole bunch of new construction. It's not our bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say 90% of our stuff is service and remodeling work. That's what we do. That's what we're good at. So we keep our heads down and plow forward with that. And it's treated us well the past 4 years, and hopefully the long term it'll continue to do so.
Okay. So give me some examples of that. So if I'm somebody who is renovating my house, what might be something I'm doing that would make me need to call you to come help out?
Wendy, a lot of people will call us if they're moving their fixtures around, if they're moving their toilets and showers and things like that. Most of the time, if people are doing something real simple in the bathroom, a new coat of paint, maybe a new countertop or something, they won't necessarily call in the plumber. But if they start getting into a little bit more heavier duty stuff with moving pipes around, adding water lines and drain lines, that's when they call us, when it gets in a little bit deeper than that, in the crawl space and in the attics and in the basement. So, or if there's any busting up concrete to do, they'll usually call us for that.
Okay. And then what about somebody who all of a sudden something's not working? Are you the guys that you call for that?
Yeah, they call us. If they got a running commode, sometimes they'll wait a few days, but if the commode won't flush, they ain't gonna wait. They'll call you, and we try to get to them as quick as we can. Sometimes we get backed up a little bit on our schedule, and so we try to work in the emergencies when we can. Water's gushing out of the ceiling, we kind of drop what we're doing and
right.
go, or a commode's backed up, or whole house is stopped up, something like that. We kind of drop what we're doing and try to get over there.
Yeah,
that's
definitely. No, I was just going to say that's definitely one of those things where when the water's leaking or you, like you said, gushing, you don't want somebody to be saying, "Well, we can come next week."
Yeah. No, they don't want to wait. I wouldn't want to wait that long, and we don't want them to wait that long. We want them to call us. A lot of times we don't run a 24-hour service like some of the bigger guys do. We do run an emergency service. 9 o'clock at night, water heater's busted, going all over the floor. We'll come out for that. Sometimes if they got a dripping faucet or something, we try to push them off to the next morning during regular business hours. But mostly so we don't have to charge them that overtime rate.
Right.
Times are kind of lean right now. Everybody is all in the same boat, running kind of lean. So we don't want to charge them overtime if we don't have to.
Okay.
So we kind of for the smaller stuff, we'll push them on to the next day.
Okay. Well, you are kind of leading into the next question. Obviously, we're all adjusting to life differently during the COVID-19 situation. So are there things that you all, as far as your business you've had to do differently during this in order to be able to serve your customers?
Yeah, we've kind of had to change the way. I wouldn't really say the way we operate. We're just having to be extremely careful when we go in people's houses. We kind of ask that if they have experienced some of the symptoms, hey, please let us know. Is just as important as our customers too.
Right.
And of course we don't want to bring in anything to anybody's home either. If somebody's got a cough, they're not coming to work that day.
Okay.
Hand sanitizer, washing hands. Of course, we kind of always have made that a habit. When you're in the plumbing business, you kind of gotta make sure you got plenty of hand sanitizer and Fast Orange Goo Gone in the truck. So
yeah, I bet.
Yeah, we've kind of always try to practice that, and but like I say, we just are like everybody else, trying to change with it here and adapt to it, and just hold on the best we can.
That's right. Well, now did you say it's just you and one other guy that work for?
Yeah, I've got a guy, Chris, that has been with me for about a year and a half, and my dad kind of helps us out every now and again when he comes. He's the errand man. He runs back and forth to supply houses with us.
Hey,
when we get in a pinch, and my wife Amy kind of helps out with a little bit of the marketing stuff, with the designing the logos and stuff like that. She's a little bit more creative than I am.
Okay.
So,
well, sounds like it's a team effort.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Well, that's great. Okay. Well, you've already mentioned about being in the plumbing industry and the hand sanitizer and the stuff that you just by nature have at the ready. But I'm sure in terms of the line of work that you're in, you've probably seen some messy things. So tell me what has been maybe one of the most unusual jobs you've been a part of since starting your career as a plumber.
Gosh, I don't know. There's quite a bit of them. I know we get some pretty unusual calls sometimes. Nothing just too crazy out of the top. A lot of times mom or dad will call you when their kid has dropped something in the commode and we got to go get it for them. A lot of times it's a toy or something like that, or old ink pens out that kids have dropped. So I wouldn't say nothing too over the top crazy. We do experience some funny things sometimes. I don't want to get too graphic or anything here with you, but that's, to me, that's always just kind of funny. Mom or dad's kind of in panic mode. The commode's not flushing, and the kid has dropped something down there. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I guess my fear has always been like, and I don't really think about it, but like you'll be washing your hands, or maybe you've taken your wedding ring off. And sometimes I'll sort of have that. I'm like, oh my gosh, what would happen if I would drop that down the drain? And then, I'll pull up the plug so it won't happen. But have you ever had to retrieve like a wedding ring or wedding band?
Yeah, I had to one time. This has been a long time ago when I worked at for another company. We got a call one day. This lady was working in a restaurant, and she had dropped her wedding ring down a 3-compartment commercial sink, and it went down in the floor sink in the floor there. So it was full of grease, pretty nasty. We got it back for her. It wasn't all nice and shiny.
Hey, at least you got it back, right?
Yeah, that's why I wear this little rubber ring here. I'm not too worried if I break it or lose it, but I guess that's kind of the craziest.
Yeah.
Ring sort.
Well, I'm sure there's I'm sure there are some things you've retrieved that are interesting. So, well,
oh yeah.
I think that about wraps up our time. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we hop off?
I did kind of want to share. We've kind of added to our list of stuff we do. We just recently purchased an 8,000-pound mini excavator. So we're not only do we work on water and sewer lines, installing new and stuff like that. We've also had some jobs, some small grading jobs people need us to be done, or just whatever excavation service they may need.
Okay.
Feel free to give us a call, and we'll be glad to come give you a price on it.
Okay. Well, I do have, you mentioned sewer, and I don't know, and I'm obviously not a plumbing expert, but I mean, we live in Davie County, so a lot of folks here are on septic tank. So do you all do any work related to that, or is that something totally different?
That's kind of something totally different, Wendy. Our license will allow us to work from the home or dwelling up to the septic tank.
Okay.
Anything from the septic tank back in the drain field is going to require a septic tank guy. Most of the time we use Frank Stransu out of Louisville. Frank's been in the business way far before I came along. So he's probably forgot more about septic tanks than a lot of people know. So
yeah.
He's the go-to guy. He's who we call on.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm no plumbing professional, so learn something new every day. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us, and hopefully you're done for the day and can call it evening.
Yeah, we're done. I don't know. The phone it's been pretty calm since you and I have been sitting here talking. I did want to congratulate my cousin, Aaron Pope, who received his engineering seal in the mail the other day. So I just want to, I don't know, I may be spreading the news a little bit more than he wants to, but I did want to congratulate him on that.
Nope. I'm glad you're using this as that opportunity. So congratulations to Aaron.
Yes, ma'am, Wendy. We appreciate you and Molly and all you guys do for us, and keep up the good work. And hopefully we'll all make it through this one of these days. I hope so. We just got to put our heads down and keep on keeping on.
Absolutely. That's right. That's all we can do. Well, it's been great talking to you. And tell your wife, Amy, I said hello. Maybe we'll meet one day in person. And I hope y'all have a good evening.
All right, Wendy. Thank you so much.
See ya. Bye.
See you.